So, if I were a widow, would anything be different? I mean, I don't mean to laugh. I shouldn't be laughing. And, I mean, well, I don't know much about granny witches, but is that what I am? A little bit. I mean, I'm sitting here. I've been writing to friends about what I smell, and then started remembering this morning after I woke up and was writing, you know, what I remember dreaming. This sort of, all right, there's burning here, there's twitching there, this sort of map that my body seems to be, and where sometimes I have some idea what. Okay, I understand. Yeah, that's real serious, but I just don't know where. All right, so I don't know where, I don't know when, but I don't ignore these things. And there's so much that goes on in the world all the time. You know, uh, but I've talked before about picking up on things in a real specific way, but not knowing what it was about. So, yeah, but yeah, I just thought I'd ask, if I were a widow, well, I mean, what can I say? If I were, I mean, I'm glad that John didn't die because I wouldn't want that fucker around. I mean, I still dream about him sometimes, and it's like I am babysitting. And no, well, was I your babysitter? I mean, I was your caregiver, but yeah, every now and then I dream about him, and it's possible the talking about it is gonna, and really sometimes it's just this awareness of him, and I don't think he knows that I'm there, and I don't know, am I really seeing anything? I don't know, because that's, I could say that's in the past. And yeah, the past does matter, um, do it, but yeah, the only thing I want is my life back, and, I guess I'm working on it, just staying alive, surviving, trying to understand where people kind of, where I broke off from, you know, yeah, oh yeah, that's one of our family members, but family is really large. We have many, many relatives, and I mean, I love extended kinship, so yeah. But yeah, if I were a widow, what would be different? Maybe I should. Well, I mean, I there are a couple of men that have died where I that was it's real hard for me, everyday grief, and you know, uh, well, I mean, I grieve the deaths of all the men that have. I mean, there are a bunch of men that have died from our high school around my age. Within a couple of years of my age and my age. So and also not at the high school. Not from our high school, but from elsewhere in the mountains. Um, and that's exceptionally hard for me, and I'm sure I know I'm not the only person who struggles with that. I mean, I started to feel some nausea, but I wasn't married to either of those men, and so I mean, I don't think either one of them liked marriage. Actually, I don't think either of them had ever been married. And if I could have, I would have also avoided marriage, but that just didn't happen. Well, I'm glad I'm not married now, but if I were a widow, I do think about, a couple of, classmates from high school who both are widows, one of them from quite a few years ago, and it was completely unexpected. And I mean, yeah, could I cry about it? I mean, I would prefer not to allow myself to, but yeah, it's really sad. And yeah, and then and another classmate whose husband died in the past few years, and he was so nice, and I mean, so they are widows. I am not a widow. What is life like for them? Well, they're both professionals actually. They both have careers. One of them in education, in higher education, and one of them in something like pharmaceutical research or medical research. So, yeah, they're like out of my league. But yeah, but they are both widows, and I'm glad that they both have partners now. I mean, that is real hard. I mean, yeah, that's a real serious loss. I mean, I know I don't need to say that, whether or not people are married, but yeah. Anyway, yeah. Well, if I were a widow, can I think like that, or is that cheating in some way? I mean, I don't know, because again, I don't, I should have never gotten married. I never wanted to get married, and but yeah. I'm not sure I'm saying much here, but I'm just thinking about, a hermit comes to mind. And am I a hermit? I mean, not, this is not a choice. This is not a choice. And, you know, uh, I'm a little bit quiet. I don't always like being in a crowd. I need some quiet time. I'm a bit on the introverted side, but I'm social. I'm social. And yeah, not a choice. Just want to talk about it if I were a widow. I have talked before about when I went to my annual exam in Tennessee, before I moved and told her what had happened. She said, well, it would have been better for you if he had died, because as long as you're married, he can, if something were to happen, he could take you off life support. And I have said before, yeah, and I'm sure he would have, because he left me for dead. Am I alive? Am I alive? I mean, what is it to be alive? I mean, does a person need to cut their skin and bleed to know they're alive? I don't think they should take that. But yeah, it is not a choice. And I do think it might be cheating if I were to think of myself as a widow. Can I think of myself as a witch? I mean, I don't know. All I know how to do is hang on and pray, and cut through bullshit, cut through shit where I can, because there's plenty of it, and some people don't like people like me who call it like we see it. We say what we think. We're direct. Sometimes we use profanity. I don't think we're real popular unless people think we're funny, and I'm not sure I'm funny to most people. But yeah. So anyhow, well, you know, uh, well, it just went through my mind. Maybe I am dead. I mean, maybe that explains everything. I only appear as human every now and then, when I'm around other people, but other than that, I'm dead. And this is nothing but optics. And, yeah. Well, anyhow, um, I don't know. Anyone out there feeling mischievous? I mean, I'm always up for mischief for sure, I don't know. If you are, find something fun to do.